Ooh-ba-da-ba-doo, that's hot. Ooh-ba-da-ba-doo, that's hot. Good morning, or evening, or whenever you're watching this.
Could be on a Wednesday.
Should be on a Wednesday. I'm Zach, that's Christopher, we're Dream EV, and it is continuing work on the Vanagon.
Last time we made tons of progress on the driveline, almost got it completely done, but we got held up waiting on rotors. So today we're going to put that aside and move on to something new and exciting.
Alright, here's to something new.
Batteries!
Batteries.
I'm very excited about this. A little bit overwhelmed with the process because we're dealing with a lot of weight here. We're dealing with aluminum, and we're dealing with all of this being hung from underneath the chassis.
Yep. But we've got a pretty good plan, and now that it's all in front of us, it's time to fine-tune the details of it.
Alright, here's the void under the chassis that we'll be placing the batteries in. We have frame rails on the left and the right side. They don't quite go the full distance down. So those will be the surfaces we'll be hanging off of and extending to hang the batteries from. There are a series of dimple die pressings from the factory where the frame rail extrudes down and below. We'll need to cut those out, make them flush with the surface. We also have brake lines to contend with, hydraulic lines to contend with, and an interesting shaped frame rail in the rear where the transmission used to pass through.
Alright, here's a rough idea to hang the batteries. We got two little bit of angle iron right here so that the battery will sit in, and then they will hang across on this big old C-channel that will sit directly underneath the frame rails. So those little nubbins that we saw that will be protruding, they will actually interfere with this face, which is why we have to grind them down. Okay, so while Zach's been down there grinding and sanding and making a bunch of sparks, I've been up here laying out the battery box, and we got a real good idea of what it's shaping up to look like. We took this blue tape and marked out exactly how much space we had underneath the van, the width of the frame rails, how far apart they are, and the front to rear bulkheads. We were sure to make sure that we took into account the size of our wires because these are awfully girthy. So we got tons of room in here. We're going to proceed forward. We're going to start cutting some aluminum and seeing how they fit up against the frame rails, and I think that'll be the next step. Well, technically you can cut aluminum with woodworking tools, but it feels shady.
Looks like it works good. What am I talking about?
You're telling us all about these pretty little marks you did?
We took and carefully laid out all of the holes that are in the bottom of the frame rail. So this surface and the bottom of the frame rail will mate up to each other, and these are where our holes will lie. And so our solution for securing everything is we're going to make some captive nuts. We'll fish it up through that hole, slide it over, and put it in place here so that the nut will sit right here, and we'll be able to bolt up through the bottom. Today I am going to button up some of the stuff on the driveline. We got our brake rotors back. These are the right size, so I'll get brake rotors on, and our sway bar is painted, and I can get the sway bar. So brakes and sway bar for me. Christopher?
I'm going to keep trucking on this battery box. We got the frame rails kind of ready to go. holes marked out where they need to match up. So I'm going to go ahead and start the process of matching the holes that we're going to drill with the captive nut locations in the frame rail. So that should be fun.
Alright, the goal for me today is to get this frame rail bolted to the underside of the van. So we're going to go straight to the frame rail, and we're going to bolt from the bottom up. This is an interesting shape, and we got some interesting hardware to make that happen. Let's take a look.
Alright, here's a view of the frame rail as they're gonna interface underneath the van. Here you can see the shape and the width of the frame rail compared to the shape and the width of the C channel that we're going to use in the aluminum battery box. One thing you'll notice is that there's a slope right here that's going to cause bolting issues, and we have a matching sloped washer, so that's super exciting. We're going to take the bolt and shove it through the C channel where everything lines up at. If you'll notice, it's off center. That's because of the profiles that we're working with. And it kind of has to be in this place, right? So what we'll aim for is that the inside face here of this frame rail and the inside face of this C channel is in the same plane.
So I say to Christopher, where's the grease for the brake pads? And he says, well, that's a special grease. That would be in my special grease kit. So here you have it, folks. The special grease kit.
Ceramic brake grease.
So we went through all this with you guys already. You saw us assembling and get to the point where we had the wrong brake rotor, so we don't need to go through all of that. But what I'm going to show you right now is just a little something that I think a lot of people end up not doing that they probably should. Hey, you can see me a little bit as I do this. So usually you can undo your caliper and like flop it up on top of the swing arm or something like that. Oh, our hydraulic line goes above the swing arm, and our bowline cable for the emergency brake goes underneath the swing arm, and so it's kind of stuck here. So I rigged up this little wire to hang it from. So people don't put grease on their brakes a lot of times when they change their pads, and it's a simple thing that really helps out a lot, especially the pin that the caliper slides on. Definitely that's important, that remain greased, or you're going to get uneven wear on your brake pads and chunky action in your actuation. That's right, chunky action. That's a thing.
Chunky action.
Chunky action. And then where your piston meets the back of your pad, a little grease right there. And then like where your pad interfaces with your caliper here, just a little bit of grease there. It's going to just help you out a lot.
Alright, we got tons of good measurements in this area. We got our holes marked out where we're going to drill. It's just a matter of making it happen. I gotta waller out this hole. Because this has got a taper to it, the hole has a taper to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and straighten up the inside walls with this. Alright, we're gonna pause here for a tech tip.
maybe. Candle tip, wax tip. This burr here originally, when I first started using it, clogged up. I'm told by the internet that you can use candle wax. If you apply it to the burr, it'll keep it from getting clogged up. You could also use grease, you could also use WD-40, you could also use bar soap. Any number of these things will help you along a little bit. But for today, I'm going to try the rest of this candle. The waxed up burr, it worked amazing. Now of course I say it worked amazing, but the damn thing is, this continues to be the scariest tool I own. I managed to break yet another burr. Put it in a hole, it caught, it made a shit ton of noise. And it bent it, it just bent it. So, if you're gonna use one of these, be very careful. Make sure you got deep pockets, because these bits aren't cheap. You almost got it figured out, Zach?
Yeah, man.
First one was hard, right? Next one's easy?
Usually that's the way it goes. Brake parts are all very similar, but there might be little things like these little clips, the guides that these slide against on the sides. It took me a minute to figure out the orientation of those and how they go in, but got that figured out. Alright, rotors are finally on. I'm going to mount a swing arm and then we can put the wheels on. That'll be exciting. Alright, this bushing has to go inside here and over here. And apparently it's a giant pain. The process seems to be you get it half in here and then you get it half on there and then you push real hard. Got my goop. Let's goop some stuff. Goop in here. Oh, so goopy.
That's that thermonuclear goop, Zach, remember?
Yep. I mean, nothing we can do about it though. It's gotta get gooped. So we're gonna goop there. And I'm gonna try not to touch it, and I'm gonna goop here. Alright, so it goes half there. And then you start half there.
I'm just the talking head interfering.
Apply a little on the shaft right there.
So you want me, okay.
Yeah, just lube that shaft up.
Okay. Oh, no, this is a good idea, actually.
On the shaft.
Yeah.
Not the tip, the shaft.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, oh, yeah. There you go. So,
We're in autofocus town now. What about up here?
I don't think we need any up there. I think that's because that's going inside. So, alright, here we go.
You mean to hold the back end?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. See? Internet. Pfft, that's so hard. It's difficult. It's gonna fight you.
You knew the secret, though.
What do they know?
You knew the secret.
Well, proper application of lubrication.
Yeah. Dude, I thought I was gonna fight you more. I apologize. I underestimated your skill. Why, Zach? I heard you moan and groan. Sounds like you got a dilemma.
Got cocky. I was trying to put it halfway in here, and it slipped all the way in and went all the way. So I've got to like push it back out halfway, and things are starting to get a little bit greasy. And yeah. But anyway, yeah, slipped in all the way, man. It's supposed to only stick in the tip.
Kind of feels like maybe the internet was right when they said this was going to be a pain in the ass.
You are jumping to conclusions. One small little blip. It's not even like a difficulty. It's just a. Ah!
All right, Zach.
It's not hard. See, they were like.
No.
They were like fighting and like. Rah! This isn't hard. It's just like it wants to like.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. Look, you got to look straight into the camera and tell the internet, "I'm sorry, I doubted you. You were right."
Listen, there were people like.
All right, third time's a charm.
Come hold this.
Oh, hold the camera. Oh, you're pushing. Oh.
Not so bad. I maintain. Not that bad.
All right, you were right. The internet was wrong. It's official. This is what happens when you don't tell the internet they're right.
Still wasn't hard to get on.
Just move your hand. Move your hand so I can.
It's just that I pulled on it and it just came right off.
Ah! Look,
yeah.
That's what happens when you curse the internet. The wisdom of the people. Alright, these captive nuts are what's going to go up inside the frame rail, and the battery box is going to bolt too. And just like that, it'll slide in there. But what we're going to do differently is we're going to drill a hole here, we're going to drill a hole here, and then we're going to plug weld this captive nut onto the inside of the frame rail.
This is miserable.
You don't look so happy, bud.
So, you know, one of those things that you just have to do. We added a sway bar, and that means we had to mount it to the trailing arm, and the nut bottom of the drop link is inside the trailing arm. So I actually am reaching through the hole where the axle comes through with a wrench, and 1/8 turn at a time, tightening this nut inside. Yeah, kind of sucks.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Zach.
All right, anti-roll bar is in. It fought a bit. I had some missteps, but it's there. It's all bolted in. It's gonna be great for the handling. And now I can put wheels on. Wheel. There we go. Up. So today was a good day. Had its frustrations, but all in all, nothing unexpected happened. Nothing didn't work. We weren't missing any parts. We just got to on the lawn.
Yeah. I mean, there was that bushing bit, but like that was your own doing. The internet cursed you.
It wasn't that bad.
I mean, I saw you struggle. Like, we'll edit it out so it doesn't look so bad. But
no.
there was a lot of struggle.
There wasn't.
Look, I'm glad I didn't have to do it. I knew it was going to be a pain. I'm glad you jumped in there and volunteered.
Yeah, along with the nut inside the freaking trailing arm.
Yeah, that was a misstep. We really should have had that on before the CV went in, but whatever.
It worked out. Until next time, be good people. See you later.
Bye, guys.